Question. Dear Kim, I think it is correct that we need to identify our blockages and our traumas in order to shed light on them, reveal them to our awareness and mindfulness so that we can acknowledge the source of these and make peace with it. My companion says, however, that another line of approach is through the LOA, not necessarily incompatible with the first. In that case, she cites Esther Hicks, who says that it does not make sense to focus on the traumas since energy goes where focus goes. In other words, focus on feeling good and your life will materialize things in accordance with that vibration. Of course, it has to be a genuine vibration. Would be very nice to have your insight on this. Okay, I have actually talked about law of attraction in another video. You might want to watch that also. But I will talk about the specific idea here, which I also have mentioned in other videos. So this is a very, very common thing that you hear out there in the New Age movement. Don't focus on the negative because where your attention is, your energy goes there and it magnifies it. What you resist persists. So I just have a very simple question here. You are walking on the road. You step on a nail that goes through your shoe and into your foot. It stings. But you are saying, I shouldn't focus on the negative, it will only make it worse. So I'm going to focus on the positive. I feel good. I feel wonderful. My foot doesn't hurt. And you keep walking, and you keep walking, and every time you take a step with that foot, it stings. But you just keep telling yourself, focus on the positive. My question is simply, how long is it going to take before you say, let me just focus on the nail, bend down and pull it out of my shoe so I can walk on without having that nail sticking into my foot? How long is it going to take before you do that? And does taking that moment to bend down and pull the nail out, does that really magnify what the nail is doing to your foot? Or does it actually remove the problem? We all have traumas from past lives. They are in the subconscious mind. I've used the analogy before that when you learn to ride a bicycle, you're creating a subconscious program for riding a bicycle. And it lies dormant in your subconscious mind. And you might not ride a bike for 20 years, but you get on a bike and the program is activated. The same thing with our response to traumas from past lives. They may seem dormant, but they can be activated in certain situations. They may also be there and we are not aware of them, but they affect everything we do. They affect our general outlook on life. So, I am not saying that you focus attention on a trauma or a subconscious self, as I call it. I'm not saying that you are looking at that, oh, here's a subconscious self. Now I'm going to send it all this energy so I can magnify it. No, of course if you send it energy, you're going to magnify it. But you have to focus on it just long enough to see that it's based on an illusion and to consciously let go of that illusion because you see a higher reality. That is permanently dissolving the self. So instead of dragging it with you lifetime after lifetime, it's gone. So what I see out there is, and I've seen this for decades now, because I first heard about these kind of teachings in the early 1990s. This was Napoleon Hill and positive mental attitude. But law of attraction is based on that whole mindset. Focused on the positive. And it's not that it's completely invalid. Obviously, it is better to focus on the possibilities and the opportunities and the positive aspects of life than to be a pessimist who's always doom and gloom. Oh, nothing works. I grew up around people, many of whom were pessimists. They were always looking for what was wrong. And of course it's better to be positive. The problem is, you are using your conscious mind to create a certain attitude of positivity that covers over what's hidden in your subconscious mind. But this doesn't prevent the subconscious selves from pulling on you. So what is actually happening for many people is they are now, I talk about these subconscious selves we create, right? They have subconscious selves that are preventing them from having what they want in life. Now they are creating a new self, a positive mental attitude, law of attraction self, and they seek to overpower the old selves. So now they actually get more and more tension in their minds. And you can see this with some of these people. They are so tense, so stressed out by always trying to maintain the positive, because they are at war with themselves. They are house divided against themselves. And what happens to a lot of people, and I've seen this over the years, they have become very enthusiastic about this law of attraction and positive mental attitude and this and that. And then after some time, it can take months, it can take years, something snaps and now they can't do it anymore because the strain becomes too much. So again, it is not magnifying a problem that you look at it long enough to resolve it permanently so you're free of it. You see, if you actually look at some of these, I'm not saying that you can't use the law of attraction to manifest positive results. Some people have done this. But usually it only lasts for a time, in my observation. So you have you go into this entire culture there, and all of a sudden you're bombarded with, oh, this person manifested that fantastic house, or this job, or this income, or that, and you pump yourself up with all of this. But how long is it going to last? Because most people don't get those fantastic results. So, but I'm not saying that you can't build such a strong subconscious self that it for a time suppresses the other selves. And now your life gets better and you are manifesting things. But what I'm saying is that to me, the more natural long-term approach is to say, why don't I have what I want? Could it be because I have these subconscious selves that are blocking me from receiving it? And if I dissolve those subconscious selves, it will naturally come to me. That is what I have personally experienced, that as I worked on my psychology, things just started happening in my life without me doing anything to make them happen. This is actually the principle that Jesus described 2,000 years ago when he said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all else shall be added unto you." What is the kingdom of God? It's a higher state of consciousness where you're not divided in yourself because you don't have all these subconscious selves. So seek first to resolve your psychology, and all else will be added unto you. Why? Because, as Jesus said, it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The way I look at it is, the natural state of affairs is that I receive the abundant life. The reason why I didn't have it when I was younger was that I had these subconscious selves that caused me to reject it, to push it away from me. And as I have worked on dissolving those, I have naturally started receiving what it is God's good pleasure to give me. I don't have to manifest. I don't have to force it into manifestation by sending out these positive vibrations. I just have to get my psychology out of the way of what comes naturally. That's my approach.